Hi, welcome to my channel. If you are new, if you're not new, welcome back. I'm glad you found me. Today, seeing that we're sewing, I thought I would do something really useful and functional called a table fort. So let's get started. Okay, we are obviously going to need our measuring tape and scissors. I'm going to use scissors this time and not my rotary blade, because I usually use the rotary blade and not everybody has one. And I understand that because I didn't always have one. For the top, I'm going to do a slightly different color. I'm going to use muslin, which you can use the whole thing for muslin, which would actually, oh, that would be so fun to paint. Because then you could paint it and like paint flowers and, oh, that'd be so cute. I'm seriously going to think about that. But on the sides, I'm going to use this other very bright color for now, unless I really chicken out and want to paint it. So here we go. So the first thing that we're going to do is measure the top. And this one is 33 inches, but it's a perfect square. So it's 33 by 33 and a half, 33 and a half. And we're going to cut it at 34 and a half because that allows for a seam allowance on all sides. Okay, so let's get that done. If you are not using a square table, if you could even use the same concept to make a life-size tent if you needed to, which is what kind of like all this emergency preparedness has got me thinking. So that's why I'm doing this today. But so you can use it a life-size tent, you can use it for a fort, which is what I'm doing because I'm super mature like that. And you can do it a different size. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out for the top, and then we're going to talk about the sides. Okay, so I've got the top cut out. I'm going to fold it in fourths, so it's just 1/4 of the table. Because my table, my fort structure is rounded on the corners, I'm going to just do, so it's just at the corners right here, I'm going to do it easy. That way, when I sew it, it will be more rounded. That one's just a little less rounded. There we go. So it will conform to the sides there. Now, what we're going to do is measure the sides right here. Can you get down this far? Okay. So I'm going to measure, since I already know it's 33 and a half on the top, because we measured the sides, we're going to measure down. I'm going to actually loop that over just a little for seam allowance. And this is going to go to 28 inches. I'm going to add an inch to that because I always add for seam allowance. And so we're going to add an inch. So it's going to be 29 inches that I'm cutting down because the hem will be an inch. Okay? And since it's all four sides equal, I'm going to make 4 of those. However, one has to be the doorway. So the doorway, I'm going to explain it to you really quickly, and then I'm going to cut it out, and next you see me, it'll be done. It's like magic. So I'm going to measure 33 and a half, actually 34 and a half, because that is the width. I'm going to fold that in half, and that gives me 17¼ inches, which, you know, if you're smart on math, you would have figured that out faster, but this is just a good visual. So 17¼ if we're going to have an opening here, for the opening for our tent, we're going to do an inch bigger than that on the side. So 2 panels, 18¼ inch by 29 inches, so that you have 2 on the sides. And if that doesn't make sense, rewind it and watch it again, because it will. And I'm going to show you after we get all the sides put together how that all works together. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so it is not attached yet, but what I decided to do was make a border for the front flaps. So this is the front flap, and the other side, it's all one long, very long, happy, very colorful piece. And here's the other side. So this and this are going to meet together to make the door. And we don't like strings. So I'm going to show you quickly how I'm going to pin it so that it meets together perfectly in the middle and then I'm going to hem it and put it on here. So because it will flop open if you just do it side by side, we're going to overlap it, I don't know, 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and pin it. Now it's going to be pinned. Since it's got stripes, I can even match up the stripes. Now, since I added these extra panels for the front flap, I have got extra fabric. So if you do this, then take that into account as well. And I'm going to show you what to do with the extra fabric. If you have it, that's why I can overlap it and not worry about it being too small. So what I've done here is I've pinned the very center of one side. So that pin is going to go right here. And I want to move that now. So this is where our front flap is going to be on one side. So if I pin it down here, here's our corner. I'm going to make a pleat for the corner because of all the extra fabric. It's just too much. So I'm going to make a pleat in the corner, and when I sew it, I'm going to round this so that it matches the round edge on the table. I'm just going to show you this pinned, and then I'm going to sew it and show you what it looks like sewn. Okay, here is our pleated part. Now, if this is going to bug you, you can just do a straight seam down the side too. I decided since I have so much fabric, I just did one long strip, 34.5 times 4 sides. So this is all one long piece. So pleating it isn't going to mess up where the seams are. Okay, I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Right, so we've sewn the side skirts to the top. I'm going to turn it right side out and put it on our table. Okay. Oh, so here's our door. So this is where we pinned it to meet in the middle, and now it's overlapping just a little, and you can see how this is half and this is half, but then I added more because of the overlapping here. Now the only thing that remains is to hem it. So I'm going to hem it, and it's done. That was so quick and easy and so fun. One thing that you could do is put buttons or a ribbon, which I think I will put ribbon, so you can tie it back. So it's like a tent opening. So I'll show you how we do that, and that will be the last thing we do. So I'm going to hem it really fast and then put the ribbons on, and I'll show you the ribbon. All right, now that this is hemmed, oh, I left a string, I'll clip that. Now that it is nicely hemmed all the way around, and this is hemmed and it's sewn on, you can leave it like this. But I am going to also put a tie over here. So I'm going to measure 2/3 of the way up. So if we're at 27.5, a third of 27 is 6.5, 18. Okay, we're going to do it 18. No, we're not. We're going to do it 15. Oh, I totally lied. So go over where you feel it's comfortable. So let's go up to 16, and I'm going to put a pin right there. I'm leaving it on the table when I pin it so that I know where the corner is, because I don't want it all the way back here. I just want it in the front of the corner. And I'm going to measure the same on both sides, and I'm going to apply tie backs. So these are just strips of fabric. Obviously it matches this. You don't need to buy ribbon or anything separate. Just use a little bit of fabric and I'm going to fold it over like this on the front, and have one on the front, and then this one will go on the back. So they will be opposite sides, and so when it opens it can tie, and I'll show you that in a second. So go ahead and measure where you want it with your pin, and I'm going to put this on the front because that's where the pin is, and then on the back I will see where the seam is, and I will just put it opposite that on the back so that it's not pulling in different places. Okay, we're going to do that over here. Okay, so with these sewn on the outside, they're also sewn on the inside. So then we're going to put these on like this to tie them back. You can tie them in a bow, you can tie them in a knot.
Throw them over your shoulders like a, what is that song?
Throw them over your shoulder like a continental soldier.
Yeah. Beautiful bow.
Thank you. Okay, so here's my bow on this side. This side I will show you another way to do it. You can just knot it. But see how I didn't pull it super tight, so you can take it out later. But either way, then you can open and close your tent, and it's a good day for a very bright, loud tent. I hope you try this, and I hope that you have some fun with it. And if you do make it, I would love to see pictures of it. And so let me know. Have a great day.